review. Ooh. Ooh. I'm trying to get back into reading. I did really well a couple years ago. I think it was 2023. I read about 11 or 12 books, I think, that year. And so far this year, I have read 1. I think last year I read maybe 3 or 4. So we need to kind of get back on track. The only thing that's really keeping me from reading, of course, is probably my phone, which is such an issue, honestly. But we're trying to get away from that. We're trying to get back into things, get our study up this year. I'm going to go through, I think, 5. I have 5 books that I've read in the past year or so. And I'm going to kind of talk about them, give a little review, and then maybe decide on what I'm reading next. We're starting with this one. This one was a lot. Both getting the book and reading it. Little story time for you. Oh my god. My sister and I love going antique shopping. We were kind of running out of places to go. We started going a little kind of farther out. Hold on, my dog's gonna start barking. The way that there is no reason for my dogs to start barking, and now my camera's probably messed up. Anyway, so we were kind of going farther out to places. We ended up going to like this middle of the nowhere place. It was a town, maybe population 4 tops, right? No one in sight. So we pull up. There's an old guy just kind of sitting at the door, fan on full blast, kind of, and he's like, there's like a screen door, and he's sitting in front of it inside. And I can't remember if he was asleep or not. I don't know. Something was up. But whatever. We go in there. Of course, it's dead silent in there. Tiniest little place, just shoved full of stuff. Which is like whatever. That's kind of every antique store. That's not really what I'm having an issue about. But there was just like this other room kind of farther off, just full of books, right? But it was like low-key a maze. I'm like, I don't really know what's going on. And then the guy, he's like old as hell, breathing heavy, has a cane, whatever. I'm sure he was kind. I'm sure that he's a nice guy. Like, nothing happened, but I was terrified. 2 women in this store, middle of nowhere. What are we gonna do? So we're looking at the books, kind of doing whatever, because I kind of feel bad, because I'm like, well, now I kind of have to buy something, right? Like, we bothered this guy's peace. We're in here, I don't know. Just kind of felt like the right thing to do. He comes over, and he starts, like, turning off lights, like, in kind of the room that we were in, like, farther down, and I'm like, we need to get out of here. Maybe they were closing. I don't know. I don't know what time it was. Maybe I'm just overthinking, but I'm, like, terrified. I'm like, we need to get out of here. Pick a book. Go to the front. Obviously, like I said, nothing happened. He checked us out. Everything was fine. But, like, what a strange experience to go through for this book. I was gonna, do, like, my description and then read the actual description of it, but I don't think this even has one. Oh, maybe I should say the title. The Dead Look On by Gerald Kirsch, written in 1943. Maybe it's just, like, a me issue because I'm not a big fan of, like, the war kind of stuff. I'm not a fan of, like, historical books, historical fiction, nonfiction, that sort of thing. So maybe it was just a me problem. Like, I'm not saying the book was bad. I'm just like, oh my god. Like, I'm not really sure. I don't know if I'm describing it right. And I do think that this is, like, important. These are important things to read and to have access to and, like, learn about, because we learn about history so it doesn't repeat itself like it's doing right now. So, which is, God, actually insane. So like I said, it's important to have this kind of... If one more animal interrupts me, I'm actually going to freak out. So, like I said, it's important to have this sort of information and, like, these kind of stories, like, being told so we can learn from it, which no one is doing. But when it comes to books, in my personal opinion, I don't really like reading about this stuff. It freaks me out. Makes me really paranoid. That sort of thing. But it was like a well-written book. My thing, though, is that it was just kind of a continuous, like, this thing happened, and then this thing happened, and then this thing happened. Does that make any sense at all? Probably not. But that's just kind of the vibe. I started, I seen someone, I think it was on Instagram, either Instagram or TikTok, would highlight their books and then highlight, like, the page so you can kind of, like, see it. I don't know if you can see it really well. Yeah. So I'm gonna maybe read some of the things that I highlighted. I didn't really get to highlight much in this book because I just kind of wanted to highlight, like, I don't know. Maybe I should have highlighted the war stuff, but I just kind of wanted to focus on, like, I don't know how to describe it. Maybe I could just read some of this and you'll kind of get my vibe. I just like the way that he set up these characters and gave them, like, the personality and meaning and, like, the backstory that they deserve before including the war and, like, how they experienced the war, you know? So I think that's kind of what I'm more focused on with my highlighting. This was about one of, like, the generals, like, the evil generals in the war. It says, there was something burning behind those eyes that should not have been burning, and when Heinz Horner laughed, his throat clicked. You thought of the ticking of a dark clock in a silent passage. What? He ate with that one! It is now nighttime. Hours have passed. I'm not restarting. This one, I'm so obsessed with this couple in this book. They're so... they're everything. I love them. Okay. Anna said that she liked sometimes to go out at dawn. She liked the woods at dawn. She did not sleep very heavily and always awoke at sunrise. Everything was so quiet. Everything had such a sweet smell. Too early for me, said Max, with false heartiness. But he awoke an hour before dawn on this memorable day, arose and dressed as if he had to go somewhere in a great hurry and was afraid of being late. What for? He did not ask himself what for, bro. Oh my god. And then, like, the same page later on, Anna came out, all the birds in the world burst with music and splashed a million songs over the cool dawn. Sweetest, like, kindest, like, heart-wrenching words I've read. Maybe I'm being dramatic. I'm definitely being dramatic. But, like, from a 1943 novel about the war. I think it was an important story to read, and I think that it was well written, but subject-wise, not my favorite thing. I'll give it 6 out of 10. This bitch, oh my god. I don't want to be, like, too rude or anything, but low-key a waste of my money. You see how not a single thing is highlighted in there? Diary of an Oxygen Thief by Anonymous. I'm trying to think of the best way to put this. This is a book for performative males that don't actually care about the attention from women and think that they're better than every other man. They think they're the alpha. This is the book for them. Why did I read this? Why did I waste my time? Why is this a bestseller? Do you want to know what this book is about? This book is about a guy who probably for about 75 pages talks about how he slept with so many women and he has a problem with alcohol. That's literally it. The alcoholism, like, kind of subject in this book is good and, like, good for you for being sober, truly. But I'd say that the last maybe 20 pages of this book are the only ones that are, like, memorable or interesting in any way. Why would I want to read about a man who has hella bitches? Like, I don't care. I don't care. Maybe I should have, like, researched before I got it. It was $17. $17 for this. This is insane. I already gave my summary, obviously. But this is what it says on the back. Hurt people hurt people. Say Holden Caulfield was an alcoholic and Lolita was a photographer's assistant. And somehow they met in Bright Lights Big City. He's blinded by love, she by ambition. Diary of an Oxygen Thief is an honest, hilarious, and heart-wrenching novel. Oh my god, heart-rending novel? Sorry, I've never heard that word before in my life. But above all, a very realistic account of what we do to each other and what we allow to have done to us. Like, oh, I'm an evil person, I'm gonna write about it for however long, and then I finally get revenge. And then, I can't remember if he's, like, acting like he's crushed at the end, or if he, like, accepts it. I'm not trying to be, like, a man-hater or anything, but you cannot act like she's the bad person. when you've been doing this your entire life. When you wrote a novel, best-selling novel about how you're evil to women. You really cannot act like that. That's just like, I don't want to say embarrassing. I'm not trying to be rude. Like, obviously a lot of people like this book. Maybe I'm just not picking up on, like, what it's supposed to really mean. But there's no way. There's no way I'm going to trust you and act like she did anything wrong. I mean, was it, like, kind of a crazy move? Yeah, but hello? That's what he's been doing this whole book. Ugh. 2 out of 10. That's all it gets. Next book. Holy shit. The Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold. I had never seen the movie before. I watched the movie after I read the book, and I didn't really know, like, what it was about or anything. Oh my god. I know I'm late. This book has been out since literally 2002. Like, it really did leave me speechless. I was crying throughout the entire book. It is just so heartbreaking, but it's such, like, a beautiful story. I just, like, love how much she cares about, like, everybody in her family and, like, what they're doing, you know, like, in life and everything. I just think it's, like, God. It's just amazing. It's just truly an amazing book. I'm really bad at giving reviews, I guess, but, like, I don't know, there's not much to, like, what else can I say, really? Like, it's beautifully written. I need to read more books by her. This is the only book I've read by Alice Sebold, but I definitely need to get on it, because the way she writes books is just, like, so, like, excellently, like, executed. Is that a weird thing to say? Excellently executed? I don't know. It was just stunning. I watched the movie was good. Will not compare to the book. Please read the book. This is the highlighted pages. Can you see it really well? I'm gonna give a little synopsis. This one also doesn't have, like, a description at all on it. Basically, it's this girl, she goes through something very, very terrible and, like, just, like, unthinkable, like, what she went through, and then she is murdered, and it's kind of telling her story about, like her being in, like, this heaven that she's in, and like, meeting people and checking in on her family while her family is trying to figure out, like, what is going on and, like, who killed her and, like, how she went missing and, like, you know, that sort of thing. So it's like they're trying to figure out what's going on. She's, like, trying to, I don't know, like, it's been a while since I've read it, but she's trying to kind of, like, follow them and, like, help guide them through it and, like, support them and, like, help them out as well, like, with the grief and with, like, figuring out what's going on, like, from the afterlife, you know? And I've never seen, like, obviously this kind of interpretation of what the afterlife is, and I think it is something that is really, I think it's something that's really a beautiful thing to think about, and, I really love, like, everyone's kind of different interpretations of the afterlife, and, like, whether it be, like, religion-based or, like, even just your own kind of, like, thoughts and beliefs. Like, I just think it's really interesting. It's really cool, and I really love her take on this and her perspective on what the main character is experiencing in this afterlife. Oh my god, cannot talk. The first thing I highlighted, unfortunately, I think it was just because I love penguins so much, but I highlighted, it says, "The penguin was alone in there. I thought, and I worried for him. When I told my father this, he said, 'Don't worry, Susie. He has a nice life. He's trapped in a perfect world.'" I literally might start crying right now. That's crazy. What else did I highlight? Oh my god. The candle, bro. He lit it after dark, but my mother, sister, and brother had stopped leaving the house after 4 o'clock. Only I saw it. Holy shit. This is just such a good book. This is just, like, amazing. Unfortunately, I don't think I could ever read it again, just because it is so, like, such an emotional book, you know? It's kind of a lot to, like, take in and go through, but it was definitely, like, I'm definitely glad I read it. Oh my god. Bro. "But he I now saw had never left me. His devotion to me had made me know again and again that I had been beloved. In the warm light of my father's love, I had remained Susie Salmon, a girl with my whole life in front of me." Like, you're actually joking. That last part, "I wish you all a long and happy life," bro. She deserves the world. Alice Sebold deserves the world. God. No notes. 10 out of 10 book. It is so insanely heartbreaking, though. Speaking of heartbreaking, we all know and love A Little Life by, I'm gonna look it up real quick because I don't want to mispronounce, Hania Yanagihara. She is truly a genius. My sort of summary, God, it's been quite a while since I read this book. What year did this come out? Oh, that's the cover. Like, there's no way this damn book came out in the 80s. 2015. Even that's older than I thought it was. I'm not really sure how to summarize. Like I said, it's been quite a while since I've read this book. 4 guys. They all went to college together. It follows them basically from college years to the rest of their lives. Jude being the main character. He is going through it. I hope that's not, like, insensitive. I really don't know how else to put it. The summary on the back. That's going to help you out a lot more. A Little Life follows 4 college classmates. Hello. Broke. Adrift in... You're joking. Buoyed? Buoyed? I've never heard that in this situation. I'm not mad about it. I'm mad at myself for not understanding. Only by their friendship and ambition as they move to New York in search of fame and fortune. God, the dream. While their relationships, which are tinged by addiction, success, and pride, deepen over the decades, the men are held together by their devotion to the brilliant, enigmatic Jude, a man scarred by an unspeakable childhood trauma, a hymn to brotherly bonds, and a masterful depiction of love in the 21st century. Hania Yanagihara's stunning novel is about the families we are born into and those that we make for ourselves. Can I even read? How am I gonna do book reviews if I can't even read? Here's my lines. Here's my thing though, is that I really enjoyed this book when I was reading it. This is another one that's kind of like so heartbreaking. There's not really many words to describe it, and I was just like distraught throughout this entire book. I really liked this book. I thought it ate, like I said, it was really like an emotional book, and it was one of those ones that are also kind of like, I'm speechless. I don't really know how to describe it. I don't know what to like really say about it. You know what I mean? I saw a video, I think it was on TikTok, I can't remember, of someone saying they didn't really care for it, and then I saw a comment under that video saying that this book was basically just 1,000, isn't it 1,000 pages? 900 pages? 800 pages of trauma dumping. And I sat back for a second and I was like, oh my god, that kind of ruined this book for me. But I also thought like, yeah, it was just like, yeah, it was a bunch of like bad stuff happening, but like also like, I thought it was a good story. I don't know what to think. Other stuff happened though, right? I have to be an independent thinker, and I'm not gonna let that one comment dictate how I feel about things. I liked this book. It was really sad, and there was a lot of trauma in it, but I thought it was a well-written book. And the storyline in it, yeah, it followed like the lives really well. It followed the storylines well. We weren't like, as far as I remember, it wasn't like jumping timelines like crazy. Like it went through like the entire, I don't know how to describe it, but you know what I mean. Let's go through some highlights. Reading this, I'm just like realizing that I just love similes. Anyone, you put a simile or a metaphor in your book, I'm just like, damn, that's good. It's really not hard to impress me, I guess. I was a Jude supporter from day one, bro. I'm highlighting just a bunch of stuff about Jude. Get ready for this. He knew Jude would hate how fragile, how feminine, how vulnerable, how young it made him look. But to him, it expressed everything about what he hoped this series would be. It was a love letter, it was a documentation, it was a saga, it was his. Talking about JB and his art series that he was doing. I guess that wasn't anything crazy. But a few years ago, me thought that 8 down. And honestly, I'm not gonna cringe to my younger self for enjoying words on a page. Like, God forbid. Would I highlight that now, though? Probably not. It's kind of cute, though. Oh my god. this book is even darker than I remember it being. Oh, is this about Willem? Stop. Spoiler, fast forward 10 seconds. And yet he sometimes wondered if he could ever love anyone as much as he loved Jude. Them being together was everything to me. But they are all smiling at one another, and the world seems to hold nothing but sweetness. Who is this about? Oh, wow. Hey, I don't remember half of the stuff that happened in this book, actually. I don't know any of these names. But how cute is that? Last one from this book, and then I'll get to the last book. I love you, he calls to them, and they shout it back at him, all of them at once, although even in their chorus, he could still distinguish each individual voice. Voice. With the V. I love them. I love them. I love him. I love everyone. This book gets a 9 out of 10. This one hit. Stuck in Neutral by Terry Truman. It says it's a 5th grade reading level. But it was good. It was so good. Here's my highlights. Can you see them? As far as I remember, this is a kid with cerebral palsy. It says on the front, his dad is planning to kill him. So I guess it's not really a spoiler. It's a really short read, obviously, but it's good. Can't really remember what happened. Oh! I remember now. What they did to us with this book is evil. I need to look up if there's a second one. Oh my god, there is! It's called Cruise Control, but it's about the brother, I think? Wow, that's crazy, though. I can't believe they did that to me. To us. I remember that now. I cannot believe that happened. Okay, anyway. No spoilers. That's what's up. His dad's trying to kill him, and he has cerebral palsy, I believe. Let's read the description on the back. Why is it like that? I'm sorry. I'm just a little confused. Maybe I shouldn't be confused, but why is it an S and a P or an S and a D? But that doesn't have anything to do with... Anyway. Sean McDaniel's life is not what it may seem to anyone looking at him. He is glued to his wheelchair, unable to voluntarily move a muscle. He can't even move his eyes. For all Sean's father knows, his son may be suffering. Sean may want a release. And as long as he's unable to communicate his true feelings to his father, Sean's life is in danger, bro. To the world, Sean's senses seem dead. Within these pages, however, we meet a side of him that no one else has seen. A spirit that is rich beyond imagining. Breathing life. Free my boy. Wait, this is crazy. I need to read this again. Obviously, it's a pretty easy read. I read it, I think, in one sitting. But it wasn't even like just because it was an easy read. It's because I wanted to keep reading it. I was like, I need to know what's up. Definitely a page turner, as they say. I am pretty sure that my dad is planning to kill me. The good news is that he'd be doing this out of his love for me. The bad news is that whatever the wonderfulness of his motives, I'll be dead. This book stressed me out. Oh my god. What? Maybe I'll just read this all right now again. Guys, get him away from his dad! Suddenly, even though I know that I'm only dreaming, I feel so loving, I feel so loved that I begin to cry. This is heartbreaking. Enough. Love this book. Stuck in Neutral. Get it right now. Oh, I forgot to rate it. 8 out of 10, but it's kind of for personal reasons, because I don't like what they did to me, and that it's so short. I wish it was longer. So, rapid fire. 8 out of 10. What did I say for this? 9 out of 10? Lovely one. 10 out of 10. 0. Did I give it a 0? I think I gave it a 2. I can't remember. New rating, 1 out of 10. I can't remember what I gave this one either. 5? 6? 6 out of 10, we'll say. I started reading Little Women a very long time ago, but I could just never really, get into it. And I do like the older kind of classics. Is that a classic? Yes. I'm about it. There's just, something that's kind of pushing me away from it. I think, honestly, I don't want to sound like an unk, but I think the font is just so small on it, I can barely pay attention. That's how I feel with Gone with the Wind, too. I'm trying to read Gone with the Wind. I'm maybe one single page in. Don't know what's going on, and also I can't read it. Here's some newer books I picked up. Picture of Dorian Gray, Oscar Wilde. Look how pretty that is. Stunning. Not gonna be able to highlight it, but I don't even think I want to touch this thing with a highlighter because it's so beautiful. I have a problem with messing with stuff or using things that I own. I have a lot of unused notebooks. This highlighter thing is kind of newer. which I don't really mind that as much, so maybe I'm kind of getting over it. If it's something this pretty though, like there's no way I'm writing in this. I actually ruined my favorite book, one of my favorite books, Heartless by Marissa Meyer. I have it over here. I low-key ruined my copy because I was highlighting and writing. Okay, I was writing in it, which is literally insane. I think the farthest I'll go is highlighting. I don't know why I started writing in it, and it was like, I started annotating it in like 2019. So it was a lot of like, oop, or like, my man, or like, like, I just wish, I'm not getting it out. I'm not getting it out because I can't go through that. But just know it was like the cringiest 2019 writing and just everything. And I highlighted it with a stark yellow highlighter because I didn't have like any other cute fun colors to go with it. God, it's just heartbreaking. But I don't want to have to buy another copy because then it feels like a waste of that one, you know? And I got that one for like my birthday or Christmas or something, so then I'll feel like a terrible person. But like, at least 20 of the pages are highlighted and annotated like that, and it makes me want, I was gonna say it makes me want to die, but it's really not that deep. It just makes me like, I'm just not happy about it. That's all we gotta say on that. Maybe I'll get another copy, maybe I'll just switch over the highlighter and just keep going on that one. Maybe that's probably the smartest option, but I'm gonna have a very hard time rereading that with what I've written in that book. Let's try to get back on track. Thanks for doing great. Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. Right? Look how cute this one is too. I love what Barnes & Noble is doing. I'm sure it's not just a Barnes & Noble thing, but I love what's going on with these books. My hot take, if you cannot make a good cover for your book, then how am I going to expect you to write a good book? You can write hundreds and hundreds of pages of literature, but you can't take 20 seconds to think up like a good design for the damn cover. People all have talents, like different talents of different ways and things and whatever the helly. But I can't fathom it being impossible. Like, those are both forms of art. I can't fathom it being impossible, like, for you to create one image, like one good image for your book. I say that as I have copious amounts of just blank cover books. But it's like, but these are like the books, you know? That's like so different. But like, these are, oh my god. I'm losing my entire point completely, but I'm still gonna stand on it. Anyway, I bought this book. I'm excited to read it. Just basically, I got a lot of classics, I feel. I got Phantom of the Opera by Gaston Leroux, Dracula, Bram Stoker. Like, look how pretty these are. Ugh. And I got Fahrenheit 451. These are the classic books that I'm working on, or that I want to start reading. I'm trying to grow my classics collection. I'm trying to create that kind of foundation of book reading, you know? Me and Earl and the Dying Girl is my favorite movie of all time ever. It is just so, oh my god. No words can describe that movie. It's just everything to me. But I watched the movie first, and since I have such high standards for it, I tried reading this. I got like one page in before, and it was already inaccurate to the movie, and so I put it down for at least 8 years, but we're back at it, and I'm gonna give it a try. Probably not anytime soon, because it's still kind of hard for me to put the movie beside for now. Like, I'm never gonna be able to do that. I'm never gonna be able to do that. It's such an amazing movie. But maybe if I just kind of create them as two separate entities, like this isn't even tied to the movie at all, then I might be able to get through it. And I'm sure it's an amazing book. If the movie's that good, this has to be baller, but I don't know, it's just hard. When did this come out? 2012? One thing is 2012, one thing is 2015. It's way at the back of the book. I don't know if it's talking about that one or this, like, teaser for another one. I'm really confused. That literally doesn't matter at all. I would like to read this. Let me know. I want to start with the classic next, so let me know which classic I should read. Oh my god, wait, they kind of match. And please don't tell me Monte Cristo. I'm not ready. I think that's it. Reading's cute, reading's fun, and hopefully maybe I'll finish all of these this year. Plus, maybe this one if I feel like it. I'll definitely be making another one of these because I'm looking at my bookshelf now and there's so many bangers over there. Probably not for a while though. I don't know. I don't know. Who cares? We'll see. That's it. Bye.